A woman will never walk up to you and say, "Hey, I'm attracted to you. Please make a move." That's not how it works. Instead, she will do something far more subtle. She will touch something. And if you don't know what that something is, congratulations, you just missed your chance. And she has already moved on to the guy who actually pays attention. Here's the part that might sting a little. According to a study published in the Journal of Nonverbal Behavior, over 90% of emotional communication between two people happens without a single word being spoken. 90%. That means the most important conversation she's having with you right now is not coming out of her mouth. It's happening through her hands. And most men are completely illiterate when it comes to reading it. So let me be brutally honest with you for a moment. As a woman, I can tell you that we are not as mysterious as men make us out to be. We actually reveal a huge amount of information through the things we touch, the way we move, and where our hands go when we're around someone we are genuinely attracted to. The problem is not that women are impossible to read. The problem is that nobody ever taught you the language. And today, that changes. What I'm about to share with you in this video is not recycled dating advice you've heard 100 times before. This is real behavioral psychology backed by actual research from institutions like Harvard, Princeton, and the Kinsey Institute. I personally spent weeks going through clinical studies, body language expert analysis, and honestly, my own experiences as a woman who has done every one of these things without even realizing it at the time. Now, before we get into the first sign, I need to tell you something important. The last sign on this list, number 8, is the one that catches most men completely off guard because it doesn't look like flirting at all. In fact, most guys interpret it as the opposite of attraction. But when a woman does it, it means she's already imagining what it would be like to be with you. So make sure you stay until the end, because that one alone could completely change how you see every interaction with a woman from this point forward. Let's get into it. The first thing a woman touches when she's attracted to you is her hair. And I know you're probably thinking, that's obvious. Everyone knows that. But here's what you don't know. There's a huge difference between a woman casually moving her hair because of the wind and a woman deliberately playing with her hair because you're standing in front of her. Dr. David Givens, who directs the Center for Nonverbal Studies, has spent over 30 years researching courtship signals in humans. According to his research, when a woman repeatedly touches, twists, or flips her hair during a conversation with a man, it is one of the oldest and most reliable attraction signals in human behavior. It's not something we consciously decide to do. It's neurological. When attraction triggers the release of dopamine and norepinephrine in the brain, it actually increases nervous energy in the hands. And the hair is one of the first places that energy goes. So here's how you tell the difference. If she touches her hair once and stops, that's probably just normal grooming. But if she keeps doing it, twisting it around her fingers, moving it to one side, pulling it over one shoulder to expose her neck, that is not random. That is her body saying, "Look at me." And speaking of the neck, that brings us to the next sign, which is even more revealing. When a woman lightly touches her neck or runs her fingers along her collarbone while talking to you, something very specific is happening. The neck is one of the most vulnerable parts of the human body. It's where major arteries are close to the surface. From an evolutionary perspective, exposing or drawing attention to the neck is a sign of trust and openness. She is silently telling you that she feels safe around you and that she wants to be noticed in a more intimate way. Body language expert Vanessa Van Edwards, who runs the Science of People Research Lab, has found that neck touching in women increases by nearly 300% when they are interacting with men they are attracted to compared to men they are not interested in. 300%. That is not random. That is biology. And here's something personal. When I catch myself touching my neck around a guy, I usually don't even realize I'm doing it until after the conversation. It's almost completely automatic. So if you see a woman doing this while talking to you, trust what you're seeing. Her body is more honest than her words. This next one is subtle, but very powerful. If a woman touches her lips, whether she presses a finger against them, bites her lower lip, or slowly applies lip balm while looking at you, she is not just fixing her lips. She is drawing your attention to one of the most attractive parts of her face. Research from the University of Manchester using eye tracking technology found that when men look at a woman's face, about 43% of their attention goes to the lips, especially when there is contrast with the skin. Women naturally understand this. That's exactly why lipstick was created, to make lips more noticeable and appealing. So when a woman touches her lips in front of you, she is strengthening a signal that you are already wired to notice. She is highlighting exactly where she knows your attention is going. And if that's not a clear sign, I don't know what is. But the next one is where things become very clear. This is the sign that separates she might be interested from she is definitely interested. When a woman starts playing with her jewelry, her necklace, her ring, or her earrings while talking to you, it is one of the clearest signs that her nervous system is activated. Psychologists call this a self soothing behavior. It happens when someone feels emotional stimulation, excitement, nervousness, attraction, and needs a physical outlet to manage that energy. The jewelry becomes that outlet. Dr. Albert Merabian's research shows that when people are emotionally engaged, their self touch behaviors increase. The more attracted she is, the more she needs to move her hands. And if her hands keep going to a necklace near her chest, she is also subtly guiding your attention. Now we move from self touch to direct touch. If a woman touches your arm, your shoulder, or your hand during conversation, she is crossing a major social boundary. A study from DePaul University showed that even brief touch increases feelings of trust, warmth, and attraction. So when she touches you, she is not only showing interest, she is also trying to build a connection. From a woman's perspective, if I touch a guy's arm and he completely ignores it, it feels disappointing, like throwing a ball and watching it fall. So if she touches you, don't freeze. Acknowledge it. Respond. Mirror it. This next one is very subtle. If you're sitting across from a woman and she runs her finger along the rim of her glass or traces her cup while looking at you, it is a classic attraction gesture. Body language expert Joe Navarro explains that object touching often reflects emotional engagement and sometimes attraction. She is directing energy toward an object because she can't fully direct it toward you yet. When a woman adjusts her clothing, fixing her top, smoothing her dress, adjusting her sleeves, she is engaging in a behavior called preening. This is seen across many species. It's about presenting the best version of oneself. If she starts doing this around you, she cares about how she appears in your eyes. Now for the final sign, the one most men misunderstand. When a woman rests her chin on her hand or gently touches her face while listening to you, many men think she is bored. But that is usually wrong. This is called facial framing. It draws attention to her face, her eyes, her expressions, her smile. Research by Dr. Monica Moore found this to be one of the most common attraction behaviors. It shows comfort, attention, and emotional engagement. If she's looking at you like that, she is not bored. She is focused on you. And here's the truth. None of these signals involve words. That's why most men miss them. Because we are taught to listen to words, but the body always speaks first. Now that you understand this, don't misuse it. Just pay attention. If you see these signs, recognize them. Because she is already moving toward you. All you have to do is meet her halfway. And now that you understand how a woman shows attraction, there's another question. What does she want you to do next? Because knowing is only half of it. What happens after, that's where most men succeed or fail. I made another video about that. Go watch it next.